If you're looking for pound the best home health and beauty fragrance products, you need to go to ashkickin.com.
Hi, I'm Brianna.
And I'm Akira.
And you're watching
DONTAE'S Boxing Nation.
Kell Brook in that fight proved to me that he probably is the number 2 welterweight in the world,
or at least before that loss. We gotta see how he comes back now.
Yeah, we gotta see how he bounces back
because he ain't got no more eye sockets left. You know,
who's he fighting?
That is wrong.
Yeah, I know. he got to fight. He got to fight with goggles on.
Yeah, he got to fight with goggles on. Yeah. What's homeboy from X-Men?
Yeah,
he got to put.
Yeah.
Hey, but anyway, hey,
yeah, somebody else. Thank y'all for pointing that out. But Willie Monroe was a mandatory, wasn't he?
Yeah, so was Wade.
Yeah, and
Charlo is a mandatory. That's my point.
But but okay, if he doesn't fight Charlo, if he doesn't fight,
go ahead.
If he doesn't fight a mandatory, which is mandatory is a real stiff right now. If he doesn't fight a mandatory after making this money off of the Canelo fight, the second Canelo fight, then hey man, he has no excuses now. But I will tell you this. I mean, he is past his prime.
Money. Let's go back to what we're talking about. Speaking of money and, making as much money as you can before you leave. Money, what do you... Cyclops, that's his name, that boy.
Yeah.
Good looking out, that boy.
Cyclops. Okay.
Yeah, Cyclops. So Cyclops Brooks is what it is now, right?
Yeah,
but anyway...
Rabashenko. Man, we way down the rabbit hole too. We had a whole stack.
No, we still gonna get it. We gonna get into it.
Yeah, man.
We gonna go another 45 minutes. Well, maybe we try to get 2 hours in. But Money, oh man, you gonna make me forget what I was about to ask Money now. What was I about to ask Money? Oh, we was talking about the money. Oh, Abel Sanchez, like I said earlier, Money. He said that Golovkin is going to stick around for at least another 3 to 5 years. So my question is, if he is just trying to make this money against Canelo, how is he not going to fight Derevyanchenko, Charlo, Andrade, Danny Jacobs rematch? How is he even going to be able to do that if he plans on fighting another 2-3 years? Or are you betting, like the question I asked you guys when we were texting, are you betting that he's going to just avoid them guys, get that Canelo money and run?
Okay, let me come at it this way, just real quick. He's going to try to stay away from the waters of the sharks and piranhas as long as he possibly can. Number 2, when I was in San Antonio, when Abel Sanchez was right there, I heard him very clearly. He stated, clear as day, I thought this was going to be it already for Triple G, but I'm still working.
He said,
now you can take that.
He said what?
Yeah, he was thinking that he was thinking that this was going to be it, like it's done. But he said, "Man, I'm still working." He's looking at retirement.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm listening to what you're saying. Now check this out.
Go ahead.
What you're saying and what he told you. But when I was right in front of him, and we were in San Antonio, he just came in the office, and I'm listening to him. I'm like, wow. That's a pretty good revelation. Now, he is not looking to do this that much longer. Now, he said 3 to 5 years for you. But when I was listening to him talk to one of these guys from Ringstar Sports, he was like, man, I'm looking like to take a vacation from this and start my construction business. I mean, like soon. So depending on... I don't know.
And Money, that's my whole point, though. But that's kind of my point, is the inconsistencies when it comes to this is what I have said to Abe. Matter of fact, you know what? He probably won't answer, but I'm gonna try to call him up on the fly real quick. I'm gonna try to call up Abel Sanchez. Let's see if he'll answer. If not, we'll set up an interview with him later on. Let's see if we can get him on. Yeah, he ain't gonna.
Hello.
Oh, he answers. Hey, Abel, I got you live.
Hello.
Right now. Abel, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, I got you live right now, Abel. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right. Abel Sanchez is on the line right now, Golovkin's trainer. We've been going live. We've been talking about what Golovkin is going to do. Is he going to retire? Is he going to fight all these sharks at the middleweight division? Let me just get your thoughts, Abel, first on Billy Joe Saunders' performance and what Golovkin may do.
You know what? I didn't see the fight. I read about it. I was busy with my son, but I heard he done well. He looked in great shape, and he looked like a different Billy Joe Saunders.
He did.
I don't. I thought that it would be a better fight. I thought that Lemieux was going to be able to do a little better than he did, but Saunders did his job.
Saunders did his job. And just since you didn't see it, I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, Abel, he looked real good. He controlled him with the jab, outboxed him, did whatever he wanted to do. David looked like it was his first professional fight in there, you know, so it was a dominant performance. But what we've been talking about right now is, yeah, Abel, so what is Golovkin going to fight? You got Darren Yevchenko, you got Andrade, you got Charlo as the mandatory. What's the other? Danny Jacobs rematch. I'm saying outside of the Canelo fight, because I know the talks that's Cinco de Mayo, but I'm saying, assuming, you know, he gets past that, is he staying around? You told me he may fight another 3-5 years, Abel. So what do you think?
I think in his mind he's got another 3 to 4 years. I don't think he's intent on hanging him up. He's still a young man, and there's still a lot of fights out there that could be fought.
But do you see him fighting any of those guys, though? What do you think? Does he just go to 168? Does he jump up and come back down? What do you think, Abel?
You know, right now I think that Tom and Oscar and Eric are talking about the rematch. Hopefully, it will happen in the middle of the year, like they said in the past. But they're the ones that are doing all the talking, and they're trying to come up with some kind of solution, some kind of right negotiation for everybody, so it can happen. I think that's the fight that boxing is looking for. I think that the fans are looking for that to happen, so they can be the controversy can be put aside. But until they announce something, really, it's hard for me to imagine what could happen. It's got to be from them. I have a fighter in camp right now. I had 4 fights last month, so I've been real busy with the other kid that I have, and haven't really paid attention to what they're saying and what they're doing until they tell me that it's close to signing. Then I'll think about it.
Why has it been so difficult to make that fight, Abel, Golovkin Canelo, the rematch?
You know, that's a question you'd have to ask Eric and Tom and Oscar. I really don't know. Like I said, I've been keeping away from that because I've been busy with other guys. I have to see it fighting on the 3rd of February, so we're in camp with him. And if Golovkin fights, they're talking about May anyway. I think that's what the dates were mentioned. So that's a fight that's in the future for me. I have other things that I have to be worried about right now for my part of the job.
I got you.
Okay, like what? Talk about the other stuff. Your other fighters and everything, Abel.
Well, I have Garcia that fights in that tournament. He fights Dorticos on February the 3rd.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
That's a big one, baby. I think that. That's probably going to be close. If it turns out with the guys' record, it could be fight of the year if they go at each other. I have Carlos Cuadras coming into camp on the 26th.
Oh wow!
He fights February 24th in that Superfly 2.
Yeah, the Superfly.
I have Sergey Bohachuk coming back also on that date. He fights on that card also. He's a welterweight with 5 or 6 fights. I'm not really sure how many fights he has. But it's the guys coming back. They all fought at the end of the year. They're going to start coming back in the end of December, early January, and we're going to start training to start fighting.
And Panamarev, somebody is asking right now in the comment section to ask you about Panamarev. What's his plans at 147?
You know, there were some issues with the dates that they had proposed. Arum had proposed, or Top Rank had proposed for Panamarev for Salcedo. They were conflicting. It was on the same date, and they were asking Panamarev to go to Mexico. I said the fight that was announced to me first was Salcedo, so I said, okay, I'll go with Salcedo on the 11th. And then they announced a change in date. Originally, the date for the Panamarev fight was on I think the 29th of October, so it didn't conflict with the 11th. And then when they changed it to the 11th, I had already promised Salcedo that I'd go with him to Fresno for his fight. Was when Ramirez fought what's that young man's name from back east? Oh shoot, I forget, but Jose Ramirez fought some young guy for the Eliminator.
The undefeated prospect, or he was undefeated or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I
he
forgot his name. Yeah, he knocked him out.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting his name too now.
It'll come to me.
Yeah, but anyway, we fought on that card, so it conflicted. So they took Ponomarev off of that 11th fight. They were supposed to go to Mexico City with that fight for. That's also an eliminator for the #1 spot in the IBF. So right now he's not in camp. He's home in Russia. I don't know what their plans are, but when they make up their mind, I'm sure he'll come to camp. We'll start working with him.
Okay, Kabi wants to ask you your thoughts on Sullivan Barrera versus Kovalev.
Sullivan Barrera versus Kovalev. I think that Kovalev is a little too experienced, and if his mind is right, like it was with Shabransky, obviously Shabransky I think is a little less than Sullivan, but I think Kovalev should win that fight. Kovalev is, I think he's trying to get his act together and trying to get it straight, and if he does, he's going to be dangerous again, and if Andrade is not in the picture, he's going to be dangerous in the light heavyweight division.
Hey, Abel, Canelo Alvarez's trainer, he told me before his last fight, he said Canelo is going to fight all of those guys. Andrade, he's going to fight the Charlos, the Danny Jacobs. Your thoughts on Canelo's trainer saying that?
Well, you know what? I think that they're going to fight the fight that are necessary for Canelo. I don't think the trainer makes the decision. I think Canelo is a grown man, and he makes the decisions in that team, as Golovkin does in our team. So I think Canelo will fight what is most beneficial for him, whether it be career-wise or financially. The trainers, we can say whatever we want. It doesn't. We're not climbing to the ropes. We're climbing to the ropes to the system, but they're going to climb to the ropes to fight. So they're going to have the ultimate decision. Not Oscar, not Eric, not Tom. The fighters, Canelo, Golovkin, Charlo, all those guys will have the ultimate decision on who they fight. I think Canelo will fight sometime in the middle of the year, as will Golovkin. Who they will fight, I don't know. But those are all attractive fights. It just nothing has been set in stone yet as far as who's fighting who. Okay.
And my last question, Abel. Who would you say is pound for pound right now? And you got Lomachenko, who just beat Rigo. You got Terrence Crawford. ESPN is saying it's Golovkin. I just thought about the conflict of interest right there as I was asking you that question. But outside of Golovkin, let's just say Golovkin.
Why is that a conflict of interest?
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know if because you trained in Golovkin. I didn't know if you had to say Golovkin.
Well, no. Okay, Golovkin aside, I think Golovkin should be pound for pound #1. But Golovkin aside, let's not consider him if he's not even in the picture. I think that Terrence has had the better resume to this date. Or title defenses. I think that he needs to be considered. Lomachenko had a good fight against Rigondeaux, even though he was a little too late, I think, in the making. Rigondeaux being 37 years old, but he also has a very good resume. I think that he belongs up there. Mikey Garcia belongs up there also. I would say Kovalev is up there, but I would say between Terrence and Lomachenko if you're not counting Golovkin.
Okay, so you saying you leaning towards Terrence over, like I said, not including. I'm just saying if we're just comparing Terrence's accomplishments to Lomachenko's accomplishments. I think I have to lean towards Terrence. Yes. Okay. And let me just introduce you. I appreciate you answering the phone, Abel, on the fly, but I want to introduce you to my man Money Powell, the third. He has a prospect who's with what is it? Sports. I'm sorry. What is it? Money.
Ringstar Sports.
Ringstar Sports.
Hey, Abel, how's it going now? Coach Sanchez, how's everything for you?
It's going well, very well. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Hey, same here now. Same here. I saw you in New Jersey. Saw you up there in New Jersey.
Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah. You introduced yourself. Yes, right. I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to introduce you guys. I know if you want to ask him something, Money. But anyway, hey, Abel, well, thank you, man. I really appreciate it, man. Anything else on your mind? Anything else you want to let the fans know, Abel? Or go ahead.
No, it's been a while since we talked, but boxing is doing well. We just need to continue the good fights next year, and we will make some more stars. I know those stars are out there. Superstars are out there. We just have to fight them and make sure that they eliminate each other so that we can get that one that sells that pay-per-view like Floyd retiring has left a void.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
I think.
Hey,
Go ahead, Money. Go ahead.
Hey, Abel. Yeah, Abel. What I was going to ask you, I don't know if you may remember it or not, but I remember you talking one day. It was just when the guys were all registering everything here and there, and you were saying that. I said, man, it must be nice. You were talking about getting ready to, you were thinking that you go on vacation soon, like away from boxing sometime soon. I was like, wow.
I wish I could.
Okay.
I could say that and have a vacation, but you know what? The moment is now. Sometimes, just like your show right here with my man here. When your time is there, you have to take advantage of it because they're fleeting moments. These fighters have their period of time where they're in their prime. Let's just say prime, not only physically but mentally. So I think that we as coaches have to devote our time so that doesn't pass them.
That's understood. That's understood because
man.
you just never know. You never know. Time waits for no one.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And I wish you the best. Also, I wish you the best in your construction business as well. Coming up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey, you got it now. All right.
Abel, I just have
take care now.
Abel, I have one question. This is Big Milt, DONTAE'S Boxing Nation.
right.
I think until someone beats Golovkin, Gennady is probably going to be the #1 guy at middleweight. But who do you think is the second toughest middleweight out there in the, as far as competition for Golovkin right now?
Well, I think right now the fight that, because of the controversy of the last fight, I think Canelo right now is what everybody's looking at. As far as styles for me, I think Billy Joe's got a nice style. I think that Jacobs learned a lot from the fight with Golovkin.
Mm-hmm.
So all these guys are improving. They're all searching and reaching for that #1 guy, and they're all getting better. So
This is true.
they have that hunger. Sometimes in boxing, what beats the top guy is not necessarily a guy that was better, but complacency, and hopefully that doesn't happen to us. We want to continue working hard just like we have. If a guy has a great night like Buster Douglas did against Mike Tyson, then anything can happen in this game. But complacency is a killer for these guys at the top. Golovkin's been on top for a long time. He's got a lot of defenses, and I hope that I don't allow that to happen. I hope that I'm diligent in the work that we do so that these young guys are not going to have it over on us.
That's true. I know that Gennady right now is moving to the 40 side of 35. He's moving in that direction. With older fighters, when you're moving in that direction, I know you want to try to keep as active as possible so that ring rust doesn't build up. How are y'all going to be,
it's not so much the ring rust. I think that what happens is that in Golovkin too, Mikey Garcia happened to Mikey Garcia for a little while there, is you don't fight and you stay out of the gym, and then you have to at a later stage in your career, you have to kick your butt to get back to where you were before, and you're putting that abuse on the body that wears it down a lot quicker. The ring rust is not something that, like I said, I'm so much concerned with, but I'm more concerned with the fact that we have 6 months off or 7 months off, and then we bring them back to the gym and put them through that grind for 10 weeks. The body breaks down a lot quicker.
Okay.
Do you believe that Golovkin has aged in his last couple of years? You believe he's aged? Is he a different fighter, for the worse or anything like that? Abel?
Of course he's aged. We celebrated 2 birthdays since the last time we talked. Of course he's aged.
I mean, go ahead.
You know what? Until somebody dominates him, then I'm going to say he's aged. Nobody's been able to dominate him. There's been close fights, but until somebody dominates him, it's hard to say that he's aged. I mean, what do we want out of a guy that just continues to win? I think that the aging process shows in the fight by the other guy just being one step ahead. As in, let's just say Lemieux and Saunders. Saunders, say, was the young guy and Lemieux was the old guy. Not necessarily in age, but in just that's the way they looked. And when that starts to happen, then okay, they're aging, but nobody's done that to Golovkin yet.
And I agree. We were talking about that before I called you up, Abel. Me personally, I don't see a difference when it comes to Golovkin and and physical wear and tear when it comes to him aging. So he looks like the same Golovkin to me. But yeah, man. But
remember that Dante, the guys are getting better. The opposition is getting better. The opposition is having time to scout and to put up a game plan and to do different things because they're the ones that are trying to get to that spot. Golovkin, we can prepare for the guy that's coming up, but we're preparing for a guy that we saw, say, a fight ago or 2 fights ago. These guys that are coming up to fight him are preparing for the fight of their life, for a lottery ticket, for consideration pound for pound, for having 4 belts, all those things. So they're hungry. They're hungry and they want to win. So these guys that are coming up like Charlo and like Jacobs and like Billy Joe Saunders, who even though he's a champion, still is not really recognized as a top middleweight. Maybe after this one he will be. They're all gunning for that top spot.
Yeah, absolutely. They're all hungry, no doubt about it. I asked you that question before already. So that's pretty much it for me. Wilder versus let's close out with Wilder, Joshua. All this talk right now with Wilder and Joshua. Abel, your thoughts, man?
Well, Wilder, I don't think has got the athletic skills. Let's just say that Joshua has boxing skills. But if Wilder hits somebody with the right hand, they're going to sleep for a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks. Oh man!
I like call him up 2 weeks later. And, hey, remember you were in a fight? I just think Wilder has the right hand that's lethal.
Oh my!
He does.
Goodness.
It's devastating. There's no denying that.
Everybody always reference Wilder's right hand with some type of joke, like like
it's freakish.
It's freakish,
yeah,
man. It's freakish, man.
I think that thing will cure cancer.
Yeah, probably.
Serious,
Yeah. Anyway, hey, once again, thank you, Abel Sanchez. I really appreciate it, man.
Okay.
Talk to you when the fight gets made, man.
All
right, take care, man.
You guys have a great night.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You too, man.
Hey, thank you as well.
All right, you guys.
Bye-bye now.
You guys heard it.
That's
from
what we
Abel
do.
Sanchez.
That's what we do.
So I mean,
The man himself.
yeah, man. I mean, let's go straight to the source, right?
Right.
Let's. But you heard what he said though, Milt. He said that he doesn't believe that Golovkin has age.
He said he aged, man.
He said he had a birthday.
He said he done had 2 birthdays since then.
Well, you know what he mean when he said that. Come on now. Yeah, well, I agree with that.
He has slowed down a step, man, and everybody else has gained a step.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that. The gap on him has closed. But I will say,
giving them excuses that they're not even using themselves.
I'm not, but this is what I see for myself.
Oh.
I'm not giving it to him.
What do you see though when you say that?
Yeah.
You see it for yourself.
To me, Dante,
Go ahead, man.
it's taking longer. It's taking longer for him to get going.
It is.
In his last fight, it was so obvious. I was worried because I wanted him to win. And I love Canelo. Don't get me wrong. But I'm in it for this older guy.
Mm.
But, like I said before, and I'll say this real quick. When we saw Usain Bolt back in 2008, 2012,
Man,
when he came out the hole, he was blowing people away. But by the time he got to 2016, he's not pulling away from people like he was once before.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what's happening to Triple G now.
Exactly.
But the
I
difference...
think it's a combination of a few things, though. I can't just say that it's age. I mean, of course, that's going to play somewhat of a factor, but I think just even with Canelo, I think it was the matter of he's fighting a guy who's much better than who he's fought previously.
You took the word.
Yeah. You mean wear and tear? You mean wear and tear?
What's that?
You mean wear and tear on the body, Kirk?
No, I mean, you're gonna have wear and tear because when you're going through a training camp, when you're training, you're gonna experience wear and tear, especially as you get older.
Well, you're definitely not gonna get younger. Yeah, that's for sure.
Because you don't recover as quicker, but I don't think it's just wear and tear and him getting older. I think it's the quality of opposition.
The quality of opposition.
Let
me say this because I wanted to respond to like what you guys are saying. Now the Usain Bolt comparison. Remember, Usain, he's been racing against the same guys, so it was the same level of opposition. So we see a difference when his speeds are not the same. Right, because he's racing against the same guys. with Golovkin,
but he's also racing against the clock.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
So his time is
He's
not world class.
Absolutely, he's racing against the clock. But with Golovkin,